Hey guys, I'm Ryan Fredericks. I'm one of the R2s in the group giving you guys this orientation. So the first video I'm going to do is how to do vaccinations. So the first thing you want to do is this is the tray at the front where we do our vaccinations. So you want to walk up and you want to grab this green paper here. I'll hold it close to the camera. And this shows us the age at the vaccinations on the left and then which vaccinations on the upper axis. You just look at how old they are for which well baby visit they're at, and then which vaccinations you'll need. So once you see which ones you need, or which well baby visit they're at, you come on over to this side, and this shows the names of the actual vaccines that you need to get. Because just because you're getting one against, say, tetanus and diphtheria, it has an actual brand name that you then have to look in the fridge for. So once you know which ones you're grabbing, you come over to the fridge, open it up, and all the brands are listed like this. And they're actually listed in order of age, so you know which ones you'll need and when. So you grab whichever one you need. Say I'm giving a Priorix, so I take this. So this is for our MMR. The important thing you have to remember whenever you grab a vaccine is what's going to be given IM and what's going to be given subcut. So once I decide what's going to be given where, say I need to do a subcut needle, I'm going to start by grabbing myself a syringe, which I can open up along here. And then once I have my syringe, I'll open my subcut needle. I won't actually open it. We have the orange one, the 25 gauge for subcut, and the blue one, the 23 gauge for IM. So we grab ourselves, I do that, I open these up and get what I want. You have to remember certain vaccines have diluent, so that's going to be a powder mixed with an actual fluid to make the vaccine. So for this one, as an example of that, we have the powder with our active ingredient in it and our diluent. So you draw that up, shoot it into the powder, mix it around, and then draw it out. And then that's how you actually have your active ingredient for your vaccine. So now that I have my syringe with the appropriate sized needle on top, filled full of my active vaccine with a diluent, I grab everything I'll need to bring for the baby. So I'll grab a cotton swab, a alcohol swipe, and a little Band-Aid. Now that I have my tools for giving a vaccine, I'm ready to go actually give the vaccine. Okay, so now we're in the room and we're ready to give our vaccine to our baby. First thing we have to remember is that once we actually draw up the vaccines to give to the well baby, we have to run that by one of our nurse practitioners, either Jan, Betty, Mike, or Nicole, who is going to be able to help us to ensure that we're giving the right vaccines to the right age group. So once they've double-checked our work and we actually come into the room, give the vaccine, one of the main things to remember and something that makes things a little bit easier is that if we got a little baby and they need more than one vaccine, sometimes 2 or 3, it's worth bringing somebody with you so you can give them both at the same time. If it's only one, you can often go do it on your own if you feel comfortable. Now that we've given it, we have to go onto the computer and actually update it. So here I've pulled up a fake chart for a test baby boy, and this is what it would look like in Oscar. So I would go up into the top left corner into Preventions, click on the Preventions tab. Now, if you remember in the last video, I made it an MMR vaccine, so we'll pretend that that's the one that I gave. So we click MMR. The name was Priorix. The location, say we gave it in the left deltoid. Route and for MMR would be subcut. So subcut. Dose is usually 0.5 milliliters for the amount. Lot, when you bring the vaccine, you have to remember that the little jar that you pulled it in, it's often best to just bring it to the room with you and not actually throw it out, because that's what you'll need for the lot. So the lot will be a bunch of numbers, so let's just fill in a bunch of numbers. Manufacturers, whichever company makes Priorix, and then under the comments is probably the most important part. First, you want to make sure that you write the expiry date. So you can write it expires in July 2016 if that's when it expires. And then secondly, if it's if a vaccine that requires 2, like the Priorix did with the diluent as well as the powder, you want to chart that in the comments in case later they have to try to find who only used 1, because it often happens where someone draws up just the diluent and is given that. And if you give just the diluent, it's not actually an effective dose. So that's where I'll say mixed diluent with active ingredient. And then now you have your comments set up, and now you press save. Once you press save, it goes under there, under today's date. The fake child got it at 6 years of age. And then you can click like that, pull it up, and it'll show everything that you did and who entered it, as myself, Ryan Fredericks. And that's how we enter vaccines into the computer.